Ahoy, this is Zdenka. Let's take a look at this clip. Well, that was shaky. Who filmed that? Who filmed that? Well, you know what, let's just warp it. But we cannot slap the warp on and just hope for the best. You know what, let's warp it the right way. And for the new faces, my name is Zdenka. If you want to learn how to take better photos and videos with the latest gear, consider subscribing. If you have been filming for a while, or if you are just starting out, you probably know that if you end up with shaky footage, like me, which is quite important, you can absolutely save it if you use feature called Warp Stabilizer in Adobe Premiere Pro. And for those wondering, I've seen some app on Android smartphones where you can download and they apparently fix your footage as well in case you have shaky footage on your smartphone. But if you have access to Adobe Premiere Pro, it's much better to use that feature over there because you can fully customize it. Well, let's jump right into it and open Adobe Premiere Pro. Here's that shaky clip again, which I found somewhere in my archive, and that one can be absolutely improved. Let's go to Effects, type in Warp, and here when we look lower, we can see Warp Stabilizer. Grab that and drag it onto your clip. There. The stabilization is going to happen on its own. It has to go frame by frame, so it will take some time depending on the size of your clip. And here is a result, what it looks like when you just slap it on. If you look closely around, you will see that the picture is swimming, very jelly-like looking shot, and that is exactly what you don't want. Let's look at the panel above where you can adjust all settings. First of all, how is the footage stabilized? Let's go to framing and select stabilized only. As you can see, there is a little bit of black area at the edges because the footage is moved around to be stabilized. You have more options under framing, such as stabilizing crop. Now the footage has been cropped, but there is still this black frame around. Now let's select Stabilize Outer Crop Scale, and now the video zooms in to fully fit in the frame. How much zoom is going to happen? Well, it will all depend how shaky that clip is. If your clip or your footage is very shaky, then Warp Stabilizer has a lot of work to do. It has to move the image around quite a bit. The less shakier clip you have, the less movement has Warp Stabilizer to do. If you really want to know how much zoom has happened, then it can be seen here. You can control how much zoom you want, and you can also control the jelly movement in the image by bringing down the strength of Warp Stabilizer. Let's look at stabilization area. I pretty much mostly keep it at subspace warp. You can, however, try other options. So let's run through them all. They all do a little bit different result. Have less crop, you could go to advanced where it says smooth less, crop less, and change the percentage from default 50% down to 30%, 25%, 20%. It will all depend on what you prefer, what you visually see, what you will choose is right for that particular clip you have. Use your own judgment. Or you can also adjust the jelly moves by turning down the smoothness in this section. Now default is 50%, so let's try 30, 25, 20%. You just have to play and see what works for you. And for that particular clip, you have to use visual reference and make a decision what looks the best. And if you have fairly new computer, you don't have an old school computer, if your computer is fast, can handle a lot of memory, just kind of works, is good, then you can go to advanced and check reconsider. It will take more time, but it will really go deep and stabilize it in great detail. So here's the final fixed footage, and just to compare, here is before and after. Well, I hope you have better understanding on Warp Stabilizer and Adobe Premiere Pro. Hit the thumbs up button if you do, and subscribe to all future videos like these. If you have any question, comments, or just want to say hello, you can do so in a comment section below. And I will see all of my friends, you, in the next video. Ciao, ahoj.